The God of gods, the King of kings, the Lord of lords, revealed a mystery to an undeserving people. People who spit on him, tread on him, had their guns aimed at him straight up. His enemies. And yet he came, yet he gave, yet he lived and died to reveal a mystery. I can see the King seated high, high above the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, and he holds it all in high hands. But he gets up, stands up, gives up all so that we might live. The words become flesh and dwells with us. I see him dressed down from his majesty and put on our poverty, beaten, whipped, humiliated. I hang him on a cross, a nail in each hand and foot, and in my hands I feel the whip, the warm hammer drenched in my sweat and in his blood. The jolting impact of each pounding blow bringing more death to the King of Kings. Screams of agony, gasp for breath, drowned out by the crowd, screaming for blind injustice. I think I can hear you with them. And you. We did this. God did this because of our sins, because of his glory, for love, for justice, for mercy, for glory. And darkness fell upon this world he made, majesty slain. It's all lost, hopeless. We lay him in the earth, in the tomb, right along with our dreams and hopes for salvation, for rescue. Where is this kingdom he promised? Where is the life unending? Where is the rescue? Was this just a man? Was he a liar? Was he crazy? There's no way. Not with the burning we felt inside when he was near. Not with the way he spoke. It can't be. 1 day, 2 days, nothing to reinstate hope. And then, as a thief in the night, when no one saw it coming, on the third morning he rose, defeating the death that he chose. And the grave's attempt to keep him there had no success, to say the least. And that same God who lay dead in the ground put death under his feet and used it as a springboard to glory, raising up and ascending to his throne to reign as God, Creator, King.
Happy Resurrection Day! Hey there, family. We hope everybody has had a wonderful Resurrection Day. It's not over with yet.
Oh, no, it's just beginning.
Just beginning. Mm-hmm. You've got, surely everybody's at home having some great meals with their family and had a great day at church. I know we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we had an awesome time.
Had an awesome time today. But we're glad you all could pop in with us for a little bit of time. And if you are not on live with us now, we're hoping that you'll be able to go back. You know, there's an amazing thing called Rewind, and so you can always go back and replay it. So we're really excited about that too. So we wanted to touch bases with everybody about the exciting event that we have coming up in a week.
In a week, yeah, on Saturday, April 27th. We look forward to having as many people come out and attend that we can get. And even if you're not unable to attend, we would like for you to give donations, whatever, to help us in this great cause. We just want to spread awareness about violence. I think sometimes people become a little blindsided, Denise, about what violence is. People are so familiar with the actual touching or physical touching of someone. When you talk about domestic violence or rape, bullying or whatever, that they kind of lose sight that, you know, there are other different forms of violence. And we basically spent the entire month of April just trying to touch on that and shed some light, which we'll talk a little bit more about in the show, some of different forms of violence. So again, please, please, please come out, support us, because one thing about our community that we don't do enough of supporting one another. Oh, and we got to get better at that. I have got more likes when I change my outfit.
Come on.
Than I have about when I go on there and I say, hey, we got this awesome cause that's coming along. Yeah. And we need people. We really, really need people in the community.
And you know, we were talking about that too. That, you know, the likes, we like it. That's awesome.
Awesome. Great. But I know I look fabulous. But,
right.
I know I look fabulous, but I don't need you to like that. But I need you to support.
Because you know you look fabulous, right?
Exactly.
Amen. We need the shares. We need you to share. If not for yourself, for someone else. Just because, like Bray was saying, a lot of times we share all the, and like I said, I'm guilty of it. I've done it. Our kids, we've got our kids and neighbors' kids and adopted kids and all that with us today too. But we've all shared some stuff that, it's not going to make you better. We've shared some stuff on social media. It's not making you better. You might get a good laugh out of it and maybe a good shock factor or something, but it's not good for you. So we're asking you to share this message about the event that we have coming on Saturday, April 27th at 7 p.m. It is a benefit of collaboration in a movement against violence, for a nonviolent approach so we can become more aware. And we're going to be talking about different things, sharing, learning about each other's business. And like Bray said, we don't do a great job, a lot of times of supporting one another. And so, that's what Empower Global is all about. It's all about empowering your purpose. It's all about supporting one another. And quite frankly, we can't do it without you. We need you there. I know many people thought, Bray and I were talking about that too just a moment ago, thought that they'd, show up at the door and buy a ticket. That's an option, but we really want to make sure, we do it in decency and in order so we can properly plan and then make sure that the subsequent events that we have over the next 9 months, as we're going to have 3 more over the next 9 months, are done top notch, where we as a people or as a community are getting together, collaborating. We've got enough food. We're not running out of food because 60 people said they were coming, but 200 showed up.
And we've all had that happen with us, a wedding or a reception or whatever.
And we're not buying no to-go plates for y'all. That's not happening. So we.
So we just really need your support. Let's resurrect. This is Resurrection Sunday, a day that we recognize our Father that actually stood on the cross for us and took, because although we were imperfect and we're still imperfect people, He died for us. And He talked about love. Yes. And this benefit is out of love. It's out about just reaching out, touching people, saving a life, and just please, I cannot stress this enough. It's very dear and near to my heart as well as to Denise's heart. We're not trying to engrave it in yours because we really want it to flow freely, because if something flows freely, it's easier for you to support. So again, please, and I don't say please quite often, but I am saying it today because again, when something touches you and it's important to you, there are some things that are worth begging for, or just asking someone to be there in support of. And we really don't want to have to feel like that we have to beg you to do something that's going to help somebody else. Right. If it's not you directly, if you're not impacted by it directly, we're sure someone you may know may be impacted. And as we said, there's just different forms of it. And I see it every day when we look at it from an economical standpoint of violence. People say, well, what do you mean by economic violence? Nobody knows what that is. Okay, what that means is if I walk around, I have a master's degree, and I'm unable to find a job that fits my degree that I paid all this money for. And so often companies do that. They control that. So it's okay. It doesn't matter that you have a master's degree and we know that you have the credentials to do this job. We're going to bring you down. So that's economical because I need a job. So I'm being forced to work. And I say forced, and say, well, no, you're not forced to. Well, I got to eat. I have bills, I have responsibilities. So
shelter.
I may go in and accept this job at this price, even though I know that I'm worth, more than that, or the job is worth, the demands of the job, the responsibility of the job. So that's a form of violence. And again, because people are thinking small, we want to be able to think big. Out there. Or, like I said, people are so used to seeing right now, like we have these young ladies on here with us, bullying and everything that takes place.
No, they're not bullied.
They're
they're not.
No,
don't tweet that or send. I'm just kidding.
The reason for us taking
not
them.
Today, they're not. They better not.
They're not bullies, but we brought them on the show because we would like to get a fresh look in the eyes of, high schoolers, because we definitely know that bullying is
Yeah.
there. We hear about it all
It's
the time.
real.
About students being bullied on the internet,
Yeah.
the cyberbullying that
Cyberbullying,
takes place, actually being
elementary
bullied in
schools, high schools, college. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. So,
in the workplace.
in the workplace, yeah, it happens. Or like I said, you have informational bullying or informational, should I say, violence. And let me kind of explain that, because I don't want to be above nobody's head. So the media has the ability to do that. And I'm going to bring this back because it's close to home, because it happened to me.
Okay.
When the media gets something, they have a way of sensationalizing. Okay, because they know people like to hear about, oh, someone was killed, someone, whatever it may happen, and they would just sensationalize. And typically, they're going to go in and they're going to belittle the person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't know nothing about this person. The police showed up or whatever, or it could domestic violence, don't matter. But
Yeah.
one party ends up getting the worst end of the stick, and then the media won't even come back and correct the fact that they made that error against the person's character.
That's too much like right.
It's too much like right. So that's informational bullying. You know
It
what I'm saying?
is.
And that's basically what it is.
That's real.
Or it's violence, because once you've gone in and as a person you dehumanize me.
Right.
I can't get that back.
And I feel offended. That offends me.
or look at people who go to jail, institutional bullying. People who go to prison because Denise said that Bray stole something from her because someone looked like Bray.
Right.
Okay? Or your son who's been accused of rape, and because he looked like someone else, and you know for certain your son was with you.
Right.
It doesn't matter though. Or your son don't have to be around nobody.
Or someone gets raped or domestically violated, and someone says, well, what did she do? Or what did he do? Because, domestic violence and rape can happen to either sex. But somebody goes, what was she wearing? What did she say?
Basically saying that she solicited herself to the point where she brought it on herself. So again, let's look at violence in a different way. We don't want to think small, because it's really bigger than what it really is. And so again, that's why this is such an awesome cause, because we get an opportunity to talk about it. We get to bring it to the forefront.
Right.
And we get to have open conversations freely without judgment. And we're not here to judge.
Right.
We're here to talk about it, because if you're misinformed, you're miseducated too. So we just want to educate it and educate you.
That's right.
And again, not forcing you to join in on our cause, but it's something that impacts millions of people across, this country. And we just gotta be mindful.
I voiced the sentiment. I'm so passionate about this. When Bray just said that, it just jog my memory, jog my thought. I totally agree with her. We don't want to, it's not about trying to force our opinion on you at all. We need your help in this movement. That's real talk.
And we need the comments.
And we need the comments. We need the shares. We need the resources put into, in the comment section. Hey Ruby, I see you join. Hey Reginald, see you join. Hey Key, see you there. And so we want to, let's turn this thing around. So we talked about a few different types of violence. Bray just talked about a few of those. That's a lot more. That conversation is going to happen on next Saturday. Now, you can get this conversation anywhere, right? Are we doing it in a consistent, more intentional basis? No, we are not. We're not. Because just like Bray just said, and it happened to me, and I was talking to Kennedy about this the other night too. When you turn on the TV and you see the violence on the news, okay, the news is the news. So we need the news, right? We need the weather. We need what's going on in the world. We need that stuff. When you see that everything is somebody's shot, somebody's this, somebody's robbed, I haven't seen it. And so this is a call to action to everybody out there who puts this stuff out there. I haven't seen where here's the Crime Stop hotline. I might see that once every 6 months maybe. I don't even watch news that much, but I tell you, I see, when I do turn it on, I see more of the bad stuff than I do a potential solution or potential, here's how we can help you, or did you know about your neighborhood watch, and there are different organizations that are doing a great job of this, of making sure that you have the resources that you need. And so we want to talk about what we can do that's grassroots, that's organic, from your home, from your school, from your church, that what you can do, what we can do together as a people, as a culture, as a community, to minimize the violence, all types of violence. And it starts with talking to our young people. It starts with talking to our young people. And I think you all may recall a few weeks ago I had mentioned I having a conversation with my daughter here, who's one of the a really amazing basketball player, and her really close friend who we call Twin, who's another basketball player. And I remember talking to her about bullying. In particular, she had we had a bullying incident in one of our I'll just say from a circle of my friends, where something really bad happened, where that individual young lady committed suicide. And it's happened, we hear it a lot, unfortunately, we hear it a lot. And I was talking to Kennedy, and I said, Kennedy, back in the day when I was a kid, and Brady, we were talking about this too, we had a bullying incident, somebody talked about us, we go get the neighborhood, we go get not just our mama, but our neighbor mama, and we meet at the basketball court, and we, put a little dirt on her face, and we get the Vaseline so the punches will roll off, and we ready to go at it. And then everybody goes and have dinner later. I mean, it's not like now we've got guns and we've got all kinds, and we've got these poor children
who go home and hang themselves
and go home and hurt themselves. Sometimes they don't do it to where it's detrimental, but we're hearing things as we've been talking. We've been hearing about cutting. We've been hearing so many different things, and some of our kids don't even know about that. And Kennedy says to me, Mom, you take for granted that everybody talks to their parents. She said, when you take me to school, you talk to me, you find out how my day, when you pick me up, how my day went. If you see something going on weird with me, you talk to me. And she said that doesn't happen a lot. And so we brought them on because we really wanted to hear from them. How do they feel about bullying? How do they feel about violence? I mean, they're pretty vocal kids. And so, we want to hear from them. I mean, and there's millions of kids out there. And I'm sure you can probably go on YouTube and Google it and whatever, or YouTube it and get more videos. But we need to be intentional about finding out what our children are saying, right?
And what they're thinking.
What they're thinking, what they're feeling. Yeah. So let's talk about that. We recently lost a young family member in our family due to violence. I know. And I'll tell you, it was very painful, right? And tell us when you heard about it, how did you feel? What happened? How did you feel about it?
I mean, a lot of ways. Oh, my bad. A lot of ways. So, like, how? Like, why?
Like,
why it happened.
Yeah.
Which is a very natural and common feeling, because when things happen to us, whether we say it's violent or non-violent, there's always that question of why.
Right.
And as adults, we sometimes struggle to understand why. So I can only imagine, if I roll back 30 years of my life, being where you guys are, I would still even more so, question why. So the question becomes, and after that, when you ask yourself why, it's like, well, how do we teach them, how to deal with it? How we, as mothers, how we people in the community kind of help. And this is definitely one of those ways, because we're sharing information. And so,
how did you deal with it? I mean, when you heard of it, what did you think? What was the first thing you thought? Why?
Just like you're still just overwhelmed.
Why?
Where'd it come from?
How did it get there?
Yeah. And I guess you also ask yourself too sometimes, did I see the signs? As children, they're not going to always see the signs because they're living. You guys at your age.
Do you? Do y'all see the signs coming? Like if you're at school or in basketball, you see where things are happening. Do y'all see the signs? Like if somebody's like something about to get, don't be acting
somebody
shy.
Somebody like fight your wife, and somebody you can tell when it's gonna get ugly. You know what I'm saying?
And what are you thinking when it's about to get ugly? Well, I mean,
let me not be in the hallway.
Oh,
okay, you want to get out of the way. So I don't want to be nowhere near this when it goes down.
Yeah.
That's how you get your name tied to stuff that you had no business. You ain't know nothing about.
Wow. So get out the way.
Yeah.
You don't run toward the action. Y'all running away from it. That's good to know. That's something. Write that down. Run away. Do you go tell a teacher or a counselor, or do you go?
Everybody be right there.
Everybody's there. Okay, that's good.
I mean, yeah, that's
That is good.
No, they make a circle.
Yeah, they make a circle around them.
They like pressure them to fight.
Okay, I'm confused now. So in this day and
They're really
age,
confused.
okay, so nobody's trying to do anything to de-escalate the situation. Everybody's actually, and I guess that's how you get when it makes it to YouTube, or you know it makes it to the media like that. Because okay, you know what? Let's kind of roll our cards back a little bit. Because when we're talking about violence itself, it always manifests from somewhere, you know. And so if we're not teaching our children at home, just think about it. You know, if violence is a form of aggression, okay, we know there's a form of aggression. So if we're not teaching our children, you know, how to deal with it, of course, it's a natural thing for them, you know, to say, instead of de-escalate, I'm not going to become a part of the problem in the sense of directly, but it's indirectly, because I'm still encouraging.
You're not videotaping.
The
running.
You gotta get out of the way. I'm too skinny for that.
But guess what? Everybody's not running, because if they were, it wouldn't make it. It wouldn't make it to
I
social
don't
media.
run. I
Right.
Like jog. Like
A light
it's
jog.
just
You like quickly escalate the situation. But I mentioned that because that's something coming from a babe, right? We need more kids to get away versus videotaping.
But again, it
Because
starts at
somebody
home.
can get hurt.
It starts at home. If we're teaching
I
our
agree.
children to recognize that this is not the way people should be treated,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll spend more time trying to go get a teacher
Right.
or a counselor or the principal versus trying to say, I need to make sure I get it on my phone first. My phone's better than yours because you got a 6 and I got a 10.
Yeah, and I have
You
a
know.
droid. Yeah, and you
No,
know,
or a droid. You know,
and
it
you know
doesn't
what?
matter,
That's a very valid point. I was just trying to break the ice, but you know what? That's a very valid point too. You're moving. You got other kids videotaping. You've got the teachers and the counselors around. And you're saying it starts at home, where the parents should really be, what?
We should be teaching them, number one, to recognize it, and because what the children are learning to do, they're learning how to validate it. You know, they're validating, hey, this is what's going on, but at the same time, it ain't me. You know, it's not me, because I'm not in the middle of it right now, and it's a joke.
And it's not a joke.
And it's not a joke, you know.
Because that video that gets online might, God forbid, but some child could go home and be like,
oh my God,
I'm ruined. I can never go back to school. I'm going to take my own life. It happens. And, you know, Reginald just mentioned, see something, say something. But and that's so, thank you, Reginald. And what you're saying too is if everybody's around it and videotaping, and you've got the counselors and teachers trying to get it to, you know, and the principal trying to get everything down, you know, get everything settled, and you've got people walking away, I'm wondering, you know, as it was escalating, someone did see something and say something.
if they had said something, could we have got ahead of it?
Right.
So where it wouldn't have got there. But think about these same children or students are going to grow up to be young men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So they've grown up, and because they didn't learn how to recognize and deal with it in school or care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, when the behavior turns back around where they're in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's acceptable. Because this
Wow.
is the norm.
That is true. That is the new norm.
I
You're
mean,
right.
This is the norm. So we got to start recognizing that, hey, we're planting seeds. You know,
Please make a note of that.
We are planting seeds.
Because you're in the middle, you're in high school. So it starts, I think, from studies.
What, bullying like 8th grade?
No, what I'm saying is what studies show that the type of experiences that you have in 5th grade, age 10, determine the type of adult you're going to be. So that means we have to get into the head, into the mind, and into the business, quite frankly. They got phones in 5th grade. And the 9 and 10-year-olds, and we really start, like you said, since it starts at home, really start conditioning them right now. You see that stuff happening, you need to, what you say, lightly jog away. Make sure you see something, say something, as Reginald said. And then you know that way. And the parents, if we're in their phones, there shouldn't be no code that you don't have. Everybody need to have everybody code if they're not paying the bill. They still in our home, right? Right? Mm-hmm. So everybody at that 5th grade level, you know, and I'm saying that only because what happens during that time, statistics show, is what it determines the type of adult they become, to your point. Right? So if we catch it then, we're in their phone, we see the type of things that they're searching, correct it then.
Correct behavior. Because the thing about, if we know that bullying is a form of violence, and violence is one of those epidemics, if we take a closer look, it has no borders. You know what I'm saying? It has no limits.
Doesn't.
It crosses all lines. Everything goes. You know, from culture to religion.
And it is a snowball.
It's a snowball.
It gets worse and worse and worse. It doesn't get better. And like we were talking about, I think a few shows ago, it may not affect you now directly, but it can indirectly affect, like we were talking about, indirectly. It's something somebody else allowed or did could affect me at age. If I live to see 65, it could be somebody from 20 years ago that was videotaping that, that fight or instigating it, quite frankly, and thought that was acceptable. I'm just keeping it real. It's my opinion. And then they decide to, snatch my purse while I got my walker at the grocery store. I'm just saying, you never know how things snowball.
And you just broken it down in its simplest form when you just said, because we all know that if someone goes out and assaults you, it's a form of violence.
It is.
So if someone snatches your purse, you know what I'm saying? Someone vandalizes your car.
Yep. It started somewhere.
What made this person think it was okay
somewhere.
Or is acceptable? So we start with our kids, because now, like I said, we're seeing it more in the schools with our babies.
My gosh.
And when you got an 8-year-old that goes home and strangles him or herself, or you got a 12-year-old that goes home and cuts herself, or she stops eating, she becomes anorexic, or he, you know what I'm saying? So we have got to get in front of this thing. We got to have conversations about it. We can't be afraid to have conversations. And again, that brings us back to our benefit while we are sponsoring it, while we're hosting this thing.
Yeah. Just
so we can say, hey, let's break the silence.
Let's break the silence.
Let's break the silence.
From our young people, our millennials, hey, if you don't want to join ours, start your own.
Start your own.
Just start something. That's all it is. Just start something. Because we have to break we are victims directly and indirectly, even with my little one, of violence. Nobody's exempt. Nobody is exempt. Do you know your neighborhood watch? Do you know your neighbors? Let's break it on down. Do you know your neighbors? Do you know who's next door, who's across the street, who's cat a corner? Whether you like them or not, do you have their phone numbers? Whether you share sugar or not, do you give them 2 eggs and some milk? Do you know who they are? Do they know who you are? Do they know your work patterns when you leave and go? Do you have an emergency contact in your phone? Do you have one over your visor in the event anything happens to you? When you talk about that, do you have those things are important. They're important because do you make sure that you reach out to everyone in your family at least once a month? And you kind of get a feel of what's going on in their life. You don't have to know all the nit-grit in their business, but if something looks different, like you and I were talking about, and you look at your children, you talk to your children, and you can see their demeanor is different. You know what I'm saying? The things that we can prevent.
And that when you make that comment about what we can prevent, oftentimes, we focus on the victim, and nobody ever looks at the abuser.
That's right.
Because again, it started from somewhere.
That is so true.
And so all of them, especially when you have statistics showing that, at least 3 out of 10 women, will be raped. That's a lot. That's a high number. That's a high number. So again, what made a person think that was okay?
Right.
Or what made this child come to school and think it was okay to pick or call another child out their name, or to take another child's shoes? Again, that same psychological analysis that's done on the victim needs to be done on the abuser.
Right.
Because it started somewhere.
And it's deep.
It's
really
a lot deeper than what people
right.
Kind of give it credit for. And I think that we need to talk about it. That's why we have these conversations. And the more conversation I think we have, the more comes out, is birthed out of it.
And the more awareness we have about, we're more alert of what we see that's
not just
going on.
recognizing the victim, but also being able to recognize the abuser, because you may be able to say something to that abuser that may prevent them.
And you can't be scared to, I mean, I got it, you just gave me, wow. Think about this. And I think you and I were watching TV when this happened. I think we were. Think about this. You said recognize. That is so true. How about that dude who, and I, really, thank you, God, for allowing me to be a changed woman. I'm not completely where I need to be, but because I almost called him something else. But, this man had, since the 1970s, he had like 100 counts, 100 or 101 counts of rape. Somebody saw something. You can't tell me from 1976, this man has 101, and they are still counting counts of rape. And nobody saw anything. That's not love. No. We talk about Happy Resurrection Day. That's not love. We serve, I know the God I serve, we serve is a God of love. That is not love. That is horrible. And if we can think about what happened, why would somebody think it's okay over a span of 30 some odd years to violate 100+ women and nobody says anything? That is not okay, people. It's not okay. No matter how we shape this thing. And, even if you could even fathom how that victim felt. Now, yeah, they got old dude. They got him. He's locked up. But listen, 100+ rapes. By the time they talk to him, he's already, come on, he's hit a record probably. And so this is what we're talking about. This is a huge mountain, and we're just tipping at it. All of us, anybody who's in the movement of nonviolence. And this started many years ago, where you had people that wanted to talk about nonviolence and wanted to come together with other victims, other survivors, and other community members and children or whatever, teachers, clergy, all of those individuals. It's been going on forever. So we're saying, if you're not in that type of movement, to be alert at the very least, to be aware at the very least of what's going on. Join something, and we would love to be able to have conversations with you all on next Saturday, April 27th. It's just $25 to get in. It's at the Riverside Center here in Austell, Georgia. It is an all-white affair because we're going to have fun. We will be doing a lot of collaborating. We want to talk about stuff like this. Somebody might say, you know what? Somebody in my family was that dude, and this is what I noticed. And I turned them in, and this is what I saw, and this is who I called. And you're like, whoa, somebody like that, oh my gosh, so let me keep my eye out for my kids. Let me make sure, you just never know, right? So this is the type of environment that we're going to have, and the type of synergy we're going to have. And it's not just going to be people Bray and I's age. It's going to be millennials there. It's going to be young adults there. You're young, and they'll be there, and we want to hear them. We want to talk to them. We want to talk to them. We want to hear them. We want them to hear us. We want to talk about, when you see something going on with your friend and they're very introverted, just kind of say, hey, I'm here if you want to talk.
But you think about when you have small kids. I have small grandkids, as I shared before. And sometimes my older grandson I'm not going to call him a baby bully, but because he doesn't realize he's doing it. Okay.
Right.
If he's taunting or teasing his little brother, because we say all the time, oh, they're just children being children. But you have to sit down and ask them, say, you ever thought about how that makes him feel when you say this? You ever thought about how that makes him feel? How does that make you feel, when Gigi does this?
Right.
And it starts creating awareness.
Exactly. Early. Love it.
I love it. You want to create the awareness. So now when he's moved from 6 to 16, he's more consciously aware. And
he's not thinking it's okay to just knock somebody over.
It's just, so we just have to get to the point where, again, we're having those conversations.
But it's not on here.
You know, so again, we need to know when to recognize. And also, what I love most about Kennedy, and just the little time her friend had to leave everybody, she kind of ran out on us, so she had to leave us. But at the same time, is that her sense of leadership, her sense of awareness, you know, who she is. So when we asked her about, had she earlier on, you know, had she ever been bullied in school, you know, whatever happened, how did you deal with it? Because of her strong sense of leadership and personality, she was able to diffuse her own situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every child don't know how to diffuse a situation.
Exactly.
So are we as parents, as community leaders, as counselors, you know, police, you know, or whatever, you know, community leaders overall, are we doing what we can to build leaders? You know,
wow, that's deep.
You know, we want to try to build leaders, and that still goes all the way back to the first time you invited me on your show, and we talked about self-love and self-discipline and self-respect.
Right.
You know, because
self-love,
self-discipline, self-respect,
and self-respect.
Because sometimes one may be weaker than the other.
Yeah.
And somewhere all of them may be missing. You know.
Been there, done that.
So again, just being able to have conversations and recognize it. And my younger son is very introverted, very quiet. And he used to say to me, he's like, I said, man, you never come out the room. You know, like, you never come out the room. He's like, well, Mom, you know, I could be out there in the streets. You wouldn't know where I am or whatever. and it's good that he's at home because I know where he is. But at the same time, we have to work on those social skills because we want to make sure when he does become an adult and he's in the real world, that he's able to actually interact and he can recognize, you know, when
things get kind of
weird, you know.
Because there's always going to be another party.
Another party.
We talk about that all the time. Because Kennedy was the same way. She was real introverted too. Like she was always go to basketball, come home, do her homework, you know, take a nap, stay up a little late, then do her homework, and get up early, go to the gym, all that. And I used to say, she doesn't really go anywhere. She doesn't really do it. And she'd say, you know, there'll be another party, Mom. It sound like some old Denise. You know, there'll be another party. And then all of a sudden, she started wanting to go to skating and I was like, ooh. And so I start talking to her about different things. You know, make sure you're observant and you do this. She's like, Mom, I got this. And then she'll start telling me, because I allow my children to talk, you know, just communicate with me. I tell them, take a risk. You know what I'm saying? You might get them punishment if you go too far. But at least they take a risk in their conversation with me. And so she started telling me about, you know, the places that she goes and what she's looking out for. And I was like, okay, they were listening. And
having that open line of communication goes a long way.
It does.
You know, so it's just, I'm not here. I've never been the perfect mother, never pretended to be or the perfect aunt or anything, perfect person at all. Yeah. But what I can say about me is that I love people.
Yeah.
You know, I do love people. I don't have to be around people, okay? But I do have a genuine love for people.
Hey, Kaylee. Hey, Dana.
And when you have that love for people, you're able to look outside of your own situation and have a heart for someone else's.
Have a heart for
somebody else's. And that's what we got to get back to again. That's what this whole month.
Take the village.
Take it, you know, we're going to take it by storm.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
So
we
talking about
a position to take it by storm, reach one, teach one, you know, love on these babies and, you know, love on people,
babies,
you know, loving the people in our community. And again, just having a talk, you know, invite them over for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, and just have free, open, genuine conversation. And I think
honest conversation.
Honesty. Because one thing, if you're a genuinely honest person, people can see it's going to flow from you, and people see that your intentions are pure.
Yeah.
And I really, you know, overall, I really think that you as a person, you know, your intentions have been pure. You know, from the time when you first came to me, you say, hey, I'm having this all-white masquerade, girl, you want to take this journey with me, you know, and, you know, I think it'll be awesome. And you didn't have to sell me anything, and you didn't have to sell it to me because me being a survivor of violence, you know what I'm saying? It's something like, you know, anything I can do for the cause, to advance the cause, and that's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do.
You know, that's something that you really, really want to do. And so I just champion, and I'm calling out, you know, all of my Facebook friends, all of my Instagram friends. You know, we're not on Instagram, but, you know, I'm calling everybody out. You don't have to do as break do, but I really definitely encourage you to look within yourself And cause my grandmother used to say to me, she said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So let us just kind of embrace ourselves and find something to stand for. If not this cause, there's so many other causes out there that we can stand up
and
for.
Call us, we'll support you.
Yeah, we definitely
will. We will support you. We'll definitely be there. Whatever that movement is, we'll support you. Especially, you know, it has something to do with us, our children, our community, empowering people, building people up. And so I see Kaylee Ramsey joined. I see Dana, Miss Dana Hall joined. It's so good to see. I see Minister Rozier, Jackie Waller, Ruby Scarbrook. I see you all there. We would love to see your comments. At least give us a thumbs up so we know that you're there. There's a little bit of a delay in our transmission here, but you know, the enemy is always at work. But you know, we're one of those kind of people, we just step on that joker's head and keep on going higher. So we just stop this bad boy and record again. So, but we know that you might be having a little bit of, there's a little bit of a delay. So then just make sure you give us some thumbs up and some hearts and all that. But we're going to take a really quick break, literally really quick, and we're going to come right back because Kennedy keeps tapping me and telling me that her legs are falling asleep. So she's not real good at whispering. Get it from my mama. So we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Please don't leave us. And if you got to go, come back and watch. Give us some thumbs up and hearts. Let us know that you're there. And we're going to ask you to please share. Especially as we're talking about awareness. If you have anything positive that you'd like to add here in comments, we'd love to see it. All of the minority-owned businesses, we've been doing a lot of that as well. We want you to put your business in the comment section as well. Any type of movements that you've got going on, positive, empowering movements that we talked about, we want to see those as well. Please, we will support you. You know, if you need one more person to serve, one or two more people or three more people to help spread the word, we'll do that as well. We truly love people and we truly are in support of building up versus tearing down. We'll be right back.
Hey, Layla, we going to the mall this weekend. You want to come?
Not today.
We got third place for what's singing? Ooh, I see you, Trey. Messing with that black.
Girl, you can't sit right here. You dusty.
That ain't nice. She only a little dark.
Give it back, Trey. Give it back.
Hey, sorry, class. Sorry I'm late. Let me take roll call. Robert? Here. Tyler? Here. Trayvon? Layla?
Excuse her. She's black there.
Mark, you think it's funny, but you're not.
Desiree, I'll handle this, okay? Mark, if you do it again, you're out here next time. You got me?
They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I just don't know how long I can last. I hate this class.
William? Jasmine?
You cool?
Heaven?
Here.
Angel?
Hi.
Tina?
Here.
Tina B? Erica?
Here. Leave me alone, for real.
Trayvon, Layla, come pass out these papers. Pick these up since you want to pass out notes.
Ooh, I see you, Trey.
Man, don't nobody want her old burnt black self.
Well, since everybody wants to act like Sideshow Bob, pull out your notebooks. Let's do some silent reading, and there's a quiz to follow. Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Branks?
Maybe they'll like me better if I just go away.
We're back again on this Resurrection Sunday. I want to thank you guys again for joining in with us and sharing with us on today's conversation. It was a great conversation. The highlight of this particular segment was dealing with bullying because we know that it's something that's going on with our youth, and it's definitely a conversation that we need to have. And it just kind of piggybacked off of what we've been doing for the entire month of April, just talking about violence as a whole, because our theme for the Masquerade Ball that's coming up this Saturday, April 27th, is breaking the silence of violence. Not just domestic violence, because like I said, when people talk about domestic violence, Denise, they instantly what comes to your mind is a physical abuse in a relationship or whatever. They think about rape, you know, but again, we just try to break down this entire month that there's so many different levels of violence, and it could be, and people are impacted whether directly or indirectly. So we just want to encourage people to speak out, support one another, help support us. And if you guys, as Denise shared before we went to break, was that if you have any type of programs or things that are going on where you need support, we are more than happy from Empower Global to join in on the crusade, you know, to kind of help you guys in advancing that along, because we recognize that people have different things that they're passionate about, they're near and dear to them. You know, typically when something happens in your family, and I'll use MAD as an example. Mothers against drunk driving. A mother lost her son, you know, due to a drunk driver. So instantly she starts to advocate because that was near and dear to her, and she was able to raise up bring a whole nation of people, you know, together to make sure that nobody else had to go through losing their child, you know, due to someone drinking or whatever. So same with us, you know, we both survivors of violence in different ways, and we also share one that is the same. We want to do the same thing. When something happens to you, your first instinct as a person is to say, you know, what can I do to stop someone else from having it, to experience or go through that? Or me, when you lose a child through violence, your thing as a mother, you say, well, what can I do to help someone else? And even though, again, when we deal with violence, we're dealing with a whole array of things, and not just that thing, whether it's police, gang, economical, psychological, cultural, religious. There's so many different layers. I'm telling you, people, there's just so many different layers of it. And again, the first thing you ask yourself is, what can I do? I can't change the world, but I'll start with my community.
Start with my community.
Start with our community. And again, when Denise came and said, hey, let's make this thing rock, the rest thing you say, oh, you got the rock on the road. You know, and so you just start, you know, doing that. Again, we really, really need you guys who are friends with us on Facebook, whether you're friends with Denise Barrett, you're friends with Jabray Harris, or Empower Global, or 7 C's, share. You know, we're asking that you please share our podcast, not just this podcast, but share
any podcast, that is for positive outreach, improvement. And I want to challenge you, you know, as Bray and I were talking about this, I don't think we initially had agreed to say this on the show, but I know we're like very like-minded, is challenge you to turn your pain into purpose. Turn your pain into purpose. You know, truly it could be something that you don't feel that you were called to do, as far as really come out and give your story. But you give an example and put other people, you might even want to put someone else's name in the blanks, but the story itself may help. It might be life or death for somebody, you know. And so we do want to encourage you, even outside of our movement, is to share your story with somebody, share the example, talk to children. You see children around you, young people, build a relationship with them where they'll feel, you know, especially in your family, particularly in your family, okay, in your family, your immediate family, because we can control that, right, in our immediate family. You know, build a relationship with them where you can hear with your eyes, you know, that something's happening, you can really sense that, and you pray about it. Pray, you know, for some type of, you know, pray for God to direct your path into what you should say or how you should listen or how you can potentially get them help if that's the case. But we really want that for everybody.
And you said something when you said, you know, allow you to listen with your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And people's like, well, what does that mean? You know, and as you said something, you definitely pray for. But you're only able to do that when your heart is filled with love. You have to have a certain sense of love and compassion within you that you're able to see. You know, someone that's in darkness, you're able to see that light because your heart is open, you know, to that. I've been. This is a little aside from, just a little bit aside from what we're talking about, but I do counseling. I've started doing grief counseling, and I also have Christian counseling. And one of the things that I've been challenged to do that has helped me, I write.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like when you're a silent mourner, sometimes you don't always feel comfortable talking and sharing what your thoughts are, but you put them down on paper and you start to talk. And then the next day I'll go back and I'll read, and oftentimes I weep because that's the pain that's coming out of me, but it becomes an outlet. So those of you who are hiding in shame, who don't want to recognize or say that I've been abused or don't want to say that I'm hurting, you can say it to God. You know what I'm saying? You can say it to yourself. You put it on paper, because when you see it on paper, what it does, it gives you a map. It gives you a sense of direction, because you didn't have that direction before, and now I'm looking at it and I'm actually having to deal with me. And when you called last night, I was up because I had been challenged to write instead of a Dear John letter, I had to write a Dear Jabray letter. And
love it.
And I told my counselor, I said, I'm not that type of writer. I don't just write stuff. God, I have to really be moved by the Spirit of the Lord. I'm really to write. And I had one of my girlfriends tell me, she said, oh my God, I like reading your writing, because when I do, she said, it just touches me. You should charge people for that.
Wow.
And I don't charge people for a word that God has given to me. You know, I don't do that. And if what I'm feeling and with the words that come out of me, if they're able to bless someone, I want to bless someone. If they're able to heal someone, I want to heal someone. If they're able to the point where someone say, you know what, you gave me a different way to see life, I want to be able that, because my friend said to me, he said, tomorrow is Resurrection Sunday, and you will be resurrected. Because we won't go another month in pain and hurt. And I shared, you know, in my letter to myself, I said, the death angel delivered me suffrage and pain that I can't pay the cost for. And again, so it becomes a way of, you know, guys, putting it on paper, write it out, and again, we just gotta break the silence. Let's talk, because when nobody else hears you, God hears you.
That is huge.
You know, God hears you, and I say all the time, no, God never left me. I left God. I left God because of the pain that had come to me, because I felt like when my mom was taken in 2015, I lost my son in 2017, so it was less than 20 months. And then 16 months later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I always kept feeling like every time I get up I was being kicked back down. Like, Lord, why me? And a still voice comes and said, why not you? Because my mom said to me long before her death, she said, Bray, God only gives certain battles to those that are strong enough to carry them.
That's right.
So people who are going through some form of violence in your life, trust me, God is bringing you to a purpose.
Right.
There is something at the end of it. He's not doing it to punish you, because God is not a God like that. He's a God of love. And if he's given that to you, he knows that you can bear it. But there is a testimony, there's victory in the end of this, and you get the victory when you help somebody else.
That's right.
So you got to be strong enough. Some people
And
are
he
strong
gets
enough,
the glory.
and he gets all the glory. None of it is mine.
Right.
Because if it was not for him, I would have lost my mind a long time ago.
Yeah.
Or when I say such things that seem shallow or vain about being fabulous, I'm saying it as a joke.
Right.
But it's God's glory
Right.
that I'm actually uplifted and giving face. Because I don't. So you don't glorify the gift, you glorify the gift giver.
That's right. The
And
creator
so
created.
we have to get to the point of doing that
right.
and supporting one another and just loving one
Yeah.
another.
That's
Because how
for
can
sure.
a man say that you love God whom you never seen and despise
Come
your
on
brother
now,
from
preach,
whom you see
sister.
every day?
Preach.
So again, that's where supporting certain benefits, and we don't always have money,
And
we have time.
We rationalize it,
But what about
we
the time?
rationalize it all the time
All
and
the
make
time.
it. We forget that God hears and sees our thoughts.
Everything.
So
He's
even
the
if you
Father
say,
of
"Yeah, I love
this.
this person," or "I love,"
And you don't, God
and
knows.
you don't, He knows.
And it's written down. You know what I'm saying? And the thing I
And
love
my
about
mom
God,
used
he
to
does
always
keep
tell me
story.
that too. She would always say, "You know what? If you're thinking it, you may as well say
So you
it."
better say it. And that's what I do. So when the days I'm rude, I mean it. But you can also rest assured, one thing about me, when I'm in the office at work, I make it a point to ask about my coworkers. How's your husband?
Right.
How's the wife and kids? And I'm not just asking for conversation because I don't have to talk. Okay?
Right.
I'm asking because I genuinely care. And I don't know if I asked how it changed your life.
Right.
And
It
if
may
these
be a
people-
difference between life or death
Life
for
or
some
death.
people. I mean, I was there. Even those times, it's a life, especially when you're a genuine person. You're not just saying how you doing and expecting just some blanket answer. You really want to know, how are you doing?
And you know how they know? I
Yeah.
know how they're doing because I call their child's name.
See?
I call their husband's name because I've taken the time to learn that part of them. Because if you're at work with me for 9 hours, 10 hours a day,
You're with
and
us
you're
more than your
you're
family.
more than your family.
More than your
So
family.
I need to get to know you. I need to know. Not to the point I'm so in your business that I can't make a business decision.
Right,
But
right.
it's point that you know that someone
still
cares,
professional,
that
but
this
it's
is your
personal.
family. I'm your manager
Right,
and
right.
I'm your family. I can't classify the company that I work for if they see you as family.
But we do.
But we do. And so even for those that I don't know, again, you're still my family. You're my family. You're my brother. You're my sister through God, Jesus Christ, because we're all sisters and brothers, no matter what color we are,
Right.
what race we are.
That's right.
And that video that was just shown, the name calling and. We never know what we say or how we say it. Is it going to bless or hurt?
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful because that mouthpiece, because once it's out there in the air, it's out there.
My.
It's in words.
And if we
often
help
hurt
our
more
kids-
than abuse. Recognize
If we
that.
help our kids recognize it, like you were talking about earlier, if we start early with that, our kids, our children, our nieces and nephews and all of that, when those name calling comes, they're better equipped to handle it.
It's like
Think about that. It kind of rolls
like
off.
an elastic heart.
Right, it's just gonna
it's gonna come
and,
back.
And I know Kennedy was like, wait a minute, if they say it to me, I'm gonna say it back, depending on how I feel that day. But and that's a conversation I have to make sure I have with my own child. What does it help you once you say it back? I mean, the stronger person walks away. I mean, or tell somebody.
You can tell someone, but also when you say something negative to me, I'm gonna say something that's gonna bless you.
There you go. There you go. And that happens to me. It happens to me even as an adult because even as an adult, we get people that constantly throw shade. It is just adult bullying. It might not be in the workplace. It could be anywhere. It could be in the church. It could be in the grocery store bullying. What people say. Where they might say something like this. One person said something to me about. I always joke about my own pea head. I always say I have a little small head. We were talking about that earlier. And but that's for me to talk about my pea head. You don't wait until I wear a certain outfit And then you say, you know what? Now I see why you said you had a pea head. Maybe that outfit was not proper for my head, and I'm usually a fashionista, so I try to make sure I show the right things, the right time, not too much and nothing showing, you know. But that particular dress, when I went back and looked at it, I really criticized myself. I went, yeah, why would you wear such a high collar with that little bitty head of yours, Denise? Oh my God. But I said to myself, wait a minute, no, don't do that. But I remember my response to this person, and this is a lesson for you, because I'm so glad you said what you said. You know, I said, do you feel better?
And that's like silence. It's like silence here. It's the same thing.
Do you feel better?
By trying to make me. So you have to say something negative.
And I said it with love. I mean, really, I want to make sure they felt better. I mean, because there was, no, you're laughing at me, Seven. No, but I'm really serious. I really wanted to make sure they felt better, because hurt people hurt people. Exactly. And once we realize, like you said, the accuser or the abuser, once we realize where they are,
you meet them where they are.
Because listen, right.
And you speak to them.
And you speak to that, because again, and you just go on by your business. I felt better than get myself all roused up about the fact that this person just, because I get that all the time. I mean, for people who have low self-esteem or whatever, they're quick to, and you do too. Most of the, women, we get that.
The carnal person responds.
Yeah.
But you took a moment to have the spiritual.
It took a long way to get there, though, now, okay, because like my mom said, if you're thinking it, you may as well say it. So I thought a whole bunch of bad stuff that, if all, God was like, girl, you need to get it together. I know he was saying that.
But you became a part of the solution versus a part of the problem.
And that's what we have to do. We really have to do that, And I know we go in circles here, but this stuff is relevant information. Key said, just tell them that's the only head that you have. Tell them if they don't like it, then they don't look at you. Right. Hallelujah, girl. But then, you know what? I say hallelujah, you're right, because guess what? That whole paragraph, though, I could have been praising God. That's the other thing. My old self actually would have given them that and then some more. Not only out of my mouth, but in my mind, right? But your mind is your power, and your power is your mind. And Satan can't do nothing with this. He can't do nothing with my head, right? My physical, if you touch he can't do nothing with it, because he's got horns, he's red, ugly, and nasty, all that. So, of course, he's going to try to jump on somebody so they can say something, so it can minimize me to keep me from going into my calling, right? I ain't let him.
You just said a mouthful.
I'm telling you, come on. You feel better. But there was a time in my life I would really go all in. I would go in. Key had it very simple, but I would really go in. Like, did she really just, and I get all roused up, then I walk around, my shoulders up, and somebody goes, Denise, are you okay? What's wrong with you? And because I let everything show on my face. But I'm going to tell you something. That's a form of bullying when people do that, right? Because their goal, and if you look that up, you look up violence and you look up bullying, okay? It is designed to hurt, is intended to make you feel bad. It is intended to inflict harm on you.
But
it is intended to stop
violence.
You. Right. They may not punch you, but that comment knocked the wind out you. Exactly. And that's not okay. It's not okay. I don't care how you try to rationalize it. Everybody can be great. Everybody can be cute. Everybody can be smart. Everybody can have big businesses. All that. I say, if you don't like it, and I said this all the time, talk to the Creator. Talk to the Creator. Talk to the Creator. If you don't like how I dress, but I look like, talk to the Creator. I like Key. I love it. I love Key. She said, well, you can tell them that the head that's the head you were blessed with. Yep. Talk to the Creator. Look, you will never win talking to him, trying to talk to him about his child. No.
So we're
we're having way too much fun, and we do this in real life. Forget it.
Sometimes we have a problem. We forget about the time because we're women, number one. But also we be having so much fun when we're here, even though we're passionate about it. We're addressing serious topics that are very near and dear to our hearts. And sometimes, you lose track of time.
We do.
But it is time for us to bring this segment of the show to a close. It's been awesome. And again, just want to remind you guys about the Masquerade Ball on April 27th. located.
Riverside Epicenter in Austell, Georgia. It's probably 30 minutes each way from those of you who think it's really, really far away. It's not.
And tickets are available now online. Please go in and get your tickets. Don't wait till you get to the door. Please get your tickets online so that we make sure we're properly planning for this event and that it's a great turnout. Because again, this is the first year. And we plan this to be the first of many. But we really, really need community support. We need our friends supporting.
And we'll be out in the community Wednesday, Thursday,
Friday
also.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
again,
passing out flyers again.
Meeting small businesses, talking to individuals. Some of the community centers, we're going to pop by some of those in a different area than where we were last week. And it goes way past April 27th. It's not a stop at April 27th.
It's not just a 1 month thing. We're going to continue to do that, but we are pushing for the benefit because we want it to be a success. We will be looking at new topics coming up for the month of May and June, trying to get our calendar filled out so we know. So that's where your comments really come important. Please post your comments. Tell us what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, so that we can pre-study and make sure we're getting you the information that's true, that's factual. Even though we're going to give you our part that's genuine from our heart, we're still going to give you what's going on, the facts, and what's going on. And, our 7 C's, he's going to go out there, he's going to find the best videos to support so you guys are informed and in tune. So again, talk to us. We love you guys. Again, so happy that you took out of your Sunday to join us. Please join us again next Sunday between 3 and 3:30. Please share, please tell any individuals. We're going to have different things to talk about, and also we're going to have some amazing highlights from the event on Saturday. And I think that's it, because we'll keep talking. We will. We're going to be talking when this goes off. But since it's Resurrection Sunday and we need some people to be resurrected, can you lead us out in prayer? Because
absolutely.
So many people who may not have made church today, they met with the church yesterday. It don't matter when you went and served your God.
And
it doesn't matter. We just want to say thank you because we're so thankful. So if you could lead us out.
Yes, absolutely. And listen, I got to put a high five out to my church. Reverend Aaron Naeem Robinson at the Mount Welcome Missionary Baptist Church. Amazing pastor, amazing man of God. And we had 2 awesome services today. So I'm going to tell you, you can go online and pull up the message. We had it all live, and I know you were at church today too.
Oh yeah, I actually joined I want to shout out to Church of Champions, where Pastor Kareem Williamson is the pastor there, as well as she don't like me to call her First Lady, but I'm telling you, she is a woman of God, beautiful voice, beautiful spirit. Maziki Williamson, I just love them. Their 2 children, Janai and Malik, Malachi, I'm sorry. And just the Church of Champions family. It was awesome seeing you guys. I haven't been there in a while. It's been a very long time, but I just wanted to resurrect and serve that time with them. But great service, Kareem. Look, I'm just so thankful what God is just doing.
Yes.
For him, for the church, and for his wife, through his family. He's gonna bless a lot of people. So again, shout out to Church of Champions.
Awesome. Father God, we just thank you right now. We thank you for this day, oh God, as we observe Resurrection Day, Father. Father, you gave your only Son as a sacrifice. He was born to save. He was born to save from sin and death. Oh my God, he was born to heal those that were broken and those that were hurting, Father. He then, oh my God, he was snatched up. He was abandoned. He was betrayed. He was mocked. He was spit on. Oh my goodness, he was beaten. Oh my God, and he hung on that cross to save us of our sins, Father. You gave us the ultimate sacrifice, God. But in 3 days, he rose up with all power in his hand. Oh my God, to cleanse us in the name of Jesus, to cleanse us with his blood. Oh my God. And so we thank you right now, Father, that we are here. We thank you right now for this moment, Father. We thank you for the flexibility of our limbs. Oh God, I thank you right now for my sister Bray. I thank you that she is in my life, oh God, because we need positive individuals individuals in our circle, Father. Father, you said in your word that iron sharpens iron. So does, oh my God, I just get so excited about this because your word is bond. And this sister is, oh my God, she is the epitome of iron sharpening iron. And so, Father, I thank you for her in my life. Father, I thank you for all of our viewers, all of our faithful supporters that are supporting us in this movement of nonviolence, Father. Father, I thank you that we had the discernment, that we were listening to what the call you had on our life, Father. And that although the enemy tries to kill, oh my God, he's designed to kill, steal, and destroy. Even though he keeps throwing all these darts and all this stuff in our way, Father, you still come in and you take care of everything, because he can't be everywhere all the time. But you are omnipotent and omnipresent, oh my God, and omniscient. You're sovereign, and so you are everywhere all the time, knocking and punching. And so we know who to call. You are the one that we call the great I am. You show up and show out every single time, because we're doing this for your glory, oh God. And so we thank you right now for what you're about to do with us, in us, through us, oh God. You said greater is he that is in me than he that is in this world. And so we just ask you right now, Father, in the name of Jesus and the power of his blood, that you continue to shower down anointing on us. You continue to shower down your strength on us, your love and your comfort, Father. Continue to guide our footsteps, Father. Father, we call on you because we know we can't handle it like you can. You make the impossible possible. And so we thank you right now for what you're about to do. And we know right now, Father, we don't have to have 500 people at this event. No, we do not. We just have to have a few faithful people that are willing to stand boldly against violence, Father, to be able to spread the word, to be able to love one another, help and support one another, our children and our grandchildren and our nieces and nephews, oh my God, our neighbors, our students, everybody, Father. So, Father, we glorify you on credit. We glorify you in advance, because we know what you're going to do. We know you're going to fix this thing, oh God. And so we thank you right now in the name of Jesus. Amen. 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 Hey, we about to have some church in here, so we will see y'all later. If you're able to come to Saturday, we'll see you there. If not, we'll talk to you later. We love you. We love you. We love you.